Auburn family, what's up? We are back live. War Eagle, it is game day. We are here. It's your man Ike Jones in here with Mike G, C, Dub, B, Will, Citrus Bowl today, couple hours from now. Oh Lord. Yeah, how y'all feeling, man? We got a
Ooh.
little news this morning that Tank probably not gonna play, what I'm saying? We probably not gonna have Roger McCrary playing one of our best DBs. You know what I'm saying? So like our O line banged up, you know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Anthony Schwartz not playing, you know what I'm saying?
oh
I'm
man.
not crying. Uh, um
I'm
uh,
glad
you,
we all decided that we weren't hanging too much on this game because
yeah, it's a good day to eat some black eyed peas or something.
as far as
Uh
everything goes,
evaluate. I said it.
Well, I'm eating crow.
fold
That's
your
for sure.
clothes. You know what I'm saying? Do a lot of laundry today during the game. You know what I'm saying? Uh, you know, uh,
Yeah, I want to order some Chick-fil-A. I've been on strict diet lately. I'm gonna order some Chick-fil-A, and maybe that will bring good omens to the team today. 2 Chick-fil-A sandwiches, 12 nugs, large Arnold Palmer.
you eating 2 sandwiches and nuggets?
Hey, listen, man, it's New Year's.
Well, you're gonna be sick if you've been eating clean and you're going to eat that much crap food.
Listen,
You're
I'm
probably
doing
gonna reject all of that.
I'm doing it for
the
Auburn.
question is Tank injured or opting out? Apparently, he is under the COVID protocol
Yep.
and
Yeah,
not
COVID got
playing.
tanked.
Yeah, it turned out that rumor might be true, right? Like,
Yeah.
we talked about that earlier this week that he might not make it in this one. So that's disappointing because there's nobody else now after Mark Anthony Richards transfer. There's nobody else I really want to see on the field.
Yeah.
Sean
Shivers
Jivers and
Williams.
DJ Williams are the only active running back have on the roster right now that have had any playing time this season. So,
DJ's
you know,
had what 3 weeks off since our
yeah.
last game.
And
So maybe
Shivers,
maybe DJ Williams is 40% now, because this year he's
yeah,
definitely not in the hunt.
Shivers has never rushed for over 100 yards.
Really?
No,
Well, they
no.
never make him he's never the feature back. He's always the
Well, he always gets hurt. Like he'll play for like 4 good snaps, and then he'll come out of the game. So
yeah.
it's gonna be an interesting game. So so keys to victory is what we normally talk about today.
Oh
And
man,
things that we can do to manufacture a win. Does anybody have anything? Anybody
My
have
key
any
is to
hopeful
find a
thoughts?
key. Find a key. That's a key to victory. Find a key. Find something. Yeah, I don't.
I mean it's got to be Bo, right? Like it's got to be Bo
No,
Nix.
the entire game hinges on whether or not Bo Nix can make things happen today, because there's
Right.
literally no like him. So they have one really, really good defensive back on Northwestern. He's going to be on Seth Williams the entire game.
Yeah.
So can Bo Nix and whatever game plan they've come up with manufacture other playmakers into the game that we don't know?
Right.
Well,
Right.
I think they've got to have, knowing that Schwartz was going to be out, that like we talked about earlier in the week, Hudson and Xavion, they're going to be in the game plan. I think those tight ends are going to be in the game plan. We're going to show something. We'll see how much of what we saw during the year was Gus still being involved in game planning and preparation, and Chad Morris having his way completely, because there's no other offensive coach on that staff who outranks Chad Morris anymore. So he's the guy. He's got the offense. We're going to see if, again, we talked about this, but everybody's pretty much auditioning right now. Chad Morris for another coaching job and Bo as a starting quarterback for Hartson. Hopefully they sling it to kind of get around our deficiency of running the ball with a not only injured offensive line, missing our best offensive player in Tank, but knowing that we're going to sling it, if that's the plan, then that makes me nervous too, because we still got Bo back there and not Bo Jackson.
We still have Bo back there. Listen, guys, we still have Bo. So there's a chance There's a chance. I mean, Bo's a gamer, so I will give him that. Maybe this is what he need. Maybe he needs like no weapons, and then he's just gonna go out there and be like all this stuff. He's just gonna lay it all out there on the line, and he's gonna have this Herculean game where he throws for like 300 yards and runs for another 150, and we find a way to win. I'm actually more worried about the fact that I don't. So apparently, Jamie Sherwood was hurt earlier, but he decided to still play. So I don't know
Right.
at what percentage he actually is for today, right? So if he's going to be out there, is he 100%? Christian Tutt's not going to be out there. He's been a liability this year. That's not as big a deal, but he still has experience, right? And McCrary's not there, right? So our defensive field, which was normally a strength for us, is coming in pretty weak today. And we didn't just all of a sudden find a pass rush. So how do we stop them is my question. Like, how do we get stops?
To make that worse, we're actually missing Truesdale.
Oh man, really?
Defensive line that was already weak. Yeah.
Wow.
Truesdale
Okay.
is out. Northwestern is still a professional. I don't want to even say pro style offense. Let's not. I don't want to say that. They are an offense that does not rely on a eclectic passing game.
They're multiple. They're multiple.
Yeah, they're multiple. But they ran the ball a lot. They wanted to run the ball. They did that a lot, and we are weak against the run. I don't know exactly how good their offensive line is or has been, but listen, if we're down one of the most consistent guys we have on the defensive line, a defensive line that didn't stop the run well at all this season against a team that wants to run the ball and has done it at least to moderate success, I'm worried, man. I'm worried that we won't be able to get off the field, that they will nickel and dime us up the field, tire our defense out, and that our defensive backs won't get a chance to shine, even though they are the strength of our defense, that it won't matter too much.
Pull a Mississippi State. So here's the thing.
Yeah, what does that mean though? Does he mean the brawl after the game?
No, he means the upset of the higher ranked team. But here's the thing. Tulsa, for Tulsa's ranking, they haven't played the style of athletes that the SEC can put up. Northwestern has. They actually looked okay against Ohio State, who has some of the best athletes in the country. So we're not talking about a team that's going to be physically overmatched by Auburn, right? So we have to play better than them. We haven't proved that we can play better than teams that have athletes yet this entire season. And we're down, like, if we were to rank our top 50 players, we're probably missing 8 to 10 of those top 50 in this game. So when we were playing with all of those guys, we were physically overmatched. Explain to me, how do we get a W today? Besides Northwestern just going out here and laying an egg.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just say we don't expect a W. We just look at this game to see how they evaluate talent for the future.
That's what I already picked us to lose. I picked us to lose Wednesday. So this is before I knew all this stuff.
Yeah, I just want to see. I'm looking forward to seeing the first game of Chad Morris's tenure at Auburn, where we can be sure that Gus is not meddling. Right. And let's see what he does with Bo. And what
was that record that Kevin Steele has as a head coach?
He is 9-36. Yeah,
9-36. Okay, so Kevin Steele will be 9-37 after today as a head coach. And he can probably just expect to never get a head coaching offer anywhere again. Because
this is the best shot.
I do wonder what the future for Kevin Steele is after this year, though. Like he's still a good D coordinator.
Yeah, he's got LSU. No, he left there. Never mind, he ain't going back there.
I fully expect Muschamp to be at LSU next year. And so I just don't know where Kevin Steele lands after this. Probably maybe South Carolina.
Oh man, how he spelled Christ, that sent me. That sent me. I'm gonna lie, that sent me all the way to the other side. Oh my goodness.
Has South Carolina hired anybody yet?
No.
Yeah, they hired Beamer, Frank Beamer's son, Shane Beamer.
as their head coach.
Oh, that's right.
As the head coach.
Yeah, whose staff was he on?
Was he with Oklahoma?
He was, I think so. He was on a big program staff, and yeah, I remember seeing that. Okay,
Gabe, it's difficult to not play better than what people expect when we don't expect much. So
Yeah, all right.
you know, if we score points today,
The
we
bar
play
is
better
low.
than I expect. So
Yeah,
The bar is low, but that's not. I don't think that changes the outcome of the game. I think to Mike's point, we just have to see, okay, who are people who we can rely on in the coming year.
listen, man, I want to see some of these backup receivers, man. Put Capers in, put these guys in. Like, let's see what these guys
who
have.
else
Throw
do we
them the
have?
ball.
Schwartz
Yeah,
is
tight
not
end.
going to
I want
play.
to see what our tight ends can do.
Yeah,
like
like,
we're going to be
they
using a lot
have-
of tight ends moving forward. So I want to see what we can do with our tight ends.
So our choices right now are Seth Williams, of course, Eli Stove,
okay.
Yeah.
Stonehands Jackson.
wait now, come on, man.
Listen,
Yeah, he did
Oh.
that. I see no lies.
Jackson.
Oh, Cedric.
Well
Stonehands
blocking
Jackson. Stonehands Jackson.
Yeah.
Dropping
Capers.
capers.
Hey,
Kobe
And-
man, he got like 5 passes this year,
And he dropped 3 of them.
and 2 of them were off target. So listen, man, I want to give him.
No, he caught a touchdown, a slant route. Like, I think he has like 4 receptions this year or something like that.
I'm not
and
knocking
out of
too
like
hard
10
on-
targets.
on the young guys because there hasn't been a consistent passing
I'm
game.
not. This is not being hard on him. I'm talking about catchable balls that you didn't catch. That's not being hard. That's
No,
evaluating to
that's
happen.
fair. That's fair. I'm giving him a personal pass because I don't like that. I don't know, man. When you don't have a quarterback that can consistently get you the ball. Like I always thought this about in the NFL, right? When you're a top draft pick, you're usually going to a bad team. So you ever watch these teams in the NFL and they are awful, and you're just like a star wide receiver, right? And you are working hard as hell all game, hoping to get a pass come your way. It's inaccurate. The quarterback's taking sacks he shouldn't take. He's playing terrible. But then you finally you finally beat your guy and he overthrows you, or you got to dive and make some funky catch just to try to make the completion. I would be so discouraged to
The
be
only
a
person
wide
that
receiver
what
on
you're describing right now applies to on our team is Seth Williams when he cares.
in Schwartz.
Anthony
he's not
Schwartz,
playing
right? But I'm just talking about like people playing today. Seth Williams is the only guy. The rest of those guys aren't like working super hard to get. They don't have routes to run. How are they working hard to get open? They just go downfield and stand there and hope that Bo
And
finds
still
them,
give
and
me
then
a
they
touchdown.
scramble around.
Yo,
There's no rhythm. Like that's the thing. There's no, hey, you do your job and you're gonna get the ball, but it didn't happen. Like that's discouraging.
Right. Can we while we're on the subject of this, can we just play this game real quick? I love this. Thank you, Carson Nash.
Throws for 75 yards.
You know what?
Over.
This
under. I'm gonna
over-under.
take the over.
Carson,
Facts or not?
I'm gonna take the over, but
I'm
that's
gonna
only
take the over
because-
just because he's gonna have to throw the ball 40 times today.
Right.
Yeah. He's going to average 2 yards per completion.
He's going to get 100 yards, but
Yeah,
he's going to
yeah.
have thrown it at least 30 times.
Yep. That sounds about right.
The
That's
better
right.
question is how many completions will Bo Nix have? So if he's going to throw the ball 40 times, how many times is that going to land in the hands of an Auburn receiver for positive yards?
Or do we get beat so bad that they do what Florida did and just pull the guy out of the game and then put the backup
And put in who?
Grant Lloyd. Get Grant Lloyd.
man, listen, I've seen it.
We ain't trying to win. We talk about getting him some playing time.
Man,
This
put
ain't
the
about
back
winning.
to quarterback and run
He
Wildcat
don't
the
need
rest
no
of the game.
No, man. This is last
JJ
game of his college
Pegues.
career.
JJ Pegues is going to play quarterback today, and he's going to run the triple option.
Over under
Hey,
75
it'll work.
yards.
Hold on, where's Keontae? If Keontae was here right now, he would be blowing a gasket from here.
I haven't seen him in a minute.
He's here.
I was like, Keontae, if you shout us out, brother, if you here. Gabe is on. Gabe Hendricks is on one today too. He's
He's mad. He's like, man, y'all ain't got no faith. You're right, Gabe.
Yeah, we got zero faith.
No.
JJ Evans has not seen the field, Robert. I saw your comment. JJ Evans, I don't know.
Yeah,
15
I don't
bubble
know.
screens per game. That's my whole point is I have no idea what we're going to see from this offense because we don't know how much of what we saw this year was a product of Gus Malzahn saying this is what I want to see and Chad Morris implementing that into the game plan, or if that was what Chad wanted to do. I have no clue. We're going to find out for the first time what Chad Morris actually wanted to do all season, whether or not it was him or this was Gus.
Okay, facts or nah? Since the pressure's going to be on Bo, facts or nah? Bo Nix throws 2 picks this game.
Facts. All facts.
Wait. I will say 2 turnovers.
Yeah, I say 2 interceptions, maybe 2 turnovers for sure.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right. I got one. Facts or nah? More than 300 yards of total offense today.
Facts, but it'll be because we're gonna probably have.
Yeah, I was about to say facts in garbage time. Yeah.
Nah.
I was gonna say nah.
We'll get 300 yards today. I don't think. I don't think we go. Ike, you go. It's your turn.
Facts or nah? We rushed for less than 100 yards today.
Nah, because Bo's gonna have to do some scrambling. It's gonna count for rush yards. So yeah, from running backs, nah. All team rush.
Yeah. If we're counting the quarterback,
no, let's not take scrambling out of it. I'm talking about from the running back position. 100 rushing yards.
Nah. No Tank.
Nah.
No Mark Anthony Richards. Just Shivers and DJ Williams.
Yeah.
Nah.
I think I said that low enough to avoid the YouTube censors.
In fact, I think we will. Something discouraged as all of us are. We're going to do something on the field better than what we're expecting. I don't know what thing that's going to be, whether it's Bo looking more competent in a passing game that Morris has designed for this game, or running the ball in some way that's different than we've run the ball.
It'd be so interesting to see a designed game plan. I haven't seen that in like 10 years at Auburn, where like a plan for a team, like not just we came out and we decided these are the plays in our playbook, we're going to run them, but like, hey, this team has weaknesses here. This is how we're going to exploit that. It'd be interesting to see that specifically in the pass game.
Who is this?
Chinell, he was
that's a QB we signed last year.
Yeah, we signed him last year. Yeah, he's like buried on the depth chart.
Have not heard his name. That man might be a ghost.
Right.
He's the 4th string, maybe even 5th string. Kayla Newton might be 4th string.
I got a good one.
He's not even on the QB depth chart.
Right. Facts or nah? Kevin still blitzes 50% of the time this game.
Facts.
Facts. Gonna have to go. He's gonna have to get after him. He's gonna have to get on.
We cannot manufacture a pass
all over
rush.
the place.
We couldn't manufacture a pass rush with our top defensive linemen in there. With missing some of these guys, they're gonna blitz 85% of this game.
Oh my gosh.
Man, I feel like I'm so worried they're gonna break out. Okay,
y'all wilding in the comments this morning. Yeah, emojis.
At least 5 yards per rush.
It's
now
the Matrix, Davis.
Northwestern will average 5 yards a rush for the game. Facts.
Ooh,
or better.
Oh, we're gonna get the brakes beat off us. Does that happen? I'll go with facts. Facts. They might do that. Hey, can we pause a second? I just want to address a comment really quickly. Listen, I love this comment. And we just recently crossed 1,000 subscribers. So again, big thank you to everybody who is waking up on their Saturday morning to just come kick it with us. These segments are a little less structured, and it's just about us kind of putting up comments and talking with you guys. But you know what, Isaac. So I'm story time for a second, right? Isaac is the brainchild of the War Report, right? We ran into each other at a random Christmas house party or something. All right, yeah,
house party.
And he was like, you and Caesar are always on the phone talking about the game before the game, because Caesar and I would call each other pregame, halftime, postgame to just bitch. Right. And he said, I do the same thing with Brian. We should do it on camera and see if people are interested in doing it. And I was like, you know what? We might as well. We've been doing it for like 20 years. Literally. We've been doing it for 20 years. I thought, and I love this comment, because even though we're Auburn fans, right, and we all went to school, we attended school there, and we were a big part of that community and culture. having a show that's a show for everybody. We've actually gotten this comment a lot from Bama fans. My DMs have been lit up, and even in some ways even more so than the Auburn fans that say they appreciate it. For Alabama fans to come on and say that they enjoy our show, or that, I'll tell you this, for 4 Auburn guys, we've been very complimentary of Alabama. So if you're looking for some sunshine pumping for Bama, this might be the place for you.
Listen, we're gonna keep it real. So here's the thing. I'm gonna keep it real. Like, I hate Bama. No, listen, nothing about my Auburn soul loves Bama.
Nothing.
But they're good. Like, I can't say they're
good.
not good. I just don't like them. I can still not like you just because I don't mean I got.
I've had a tremendous amount of respect for Nick Saban, and for
the
day he hired him, I was like,
you have a good football team and still hate you.
Man, how upset are we that they didn't get Rich Rod? Like, you have a little.
I know, right? Rich Rodriguez was almost their coach. That's right. And he turned them down for West Virginia, right?
No, he
was at West Virginia.
He was at West Virginia, yeah.
His wife didn't want to move to Alabama.
He wanted the Michigan job. Yeah, he wanted the
his
Michigan
wife didn't
job.
want to come to Alabama.
Oof. Well, I mean, listen, that was probably good for everybody.
His wife is God. Because
all Bama fans should be thanking Rich Rod's wife and just be like, listen, thank you so much for protesting against wanting to move to Alabama, because you are the reason we got, because the administration, and this is the thing, like when other fans, specifically Bama fans, still love you guys, come and they start dogging Auburn for our ineptitude in finding a head coach, they forget that they almost went with Rich Rodriguez and didn't get, because the administration wanted him. That's who they wanted.
Yep. Yeah.
And
he was the new hot offensive
that
coach.
Squashed that. Right.
Yeah.
They're acting as if they got lucky. So stop acting like Bama has had this master plan and we're just the gods of college. Y'all got lucky.
Well, you know what?
It worked out well, great. But I'm just saying, stop acting as if y'all just these masterminds and we know how to do it right. No, you got lucky.
Well, let me say that differently, right? When people say Bama, right, I say Saban, because your team is really only as good as your coach. They were in the coaching doldrums before Saban got there.
Yeah,
and as much crap as we have gotten for Bama fans for our boosters meddling, I would just like to remind them of a little guy named Albert Means, way back in the day, and a booster that got you guys in a bunch of trouble when Tuberville put a 6 in a row on you. When Tuberville was holding up 6 fingers, they were hurting from sanctions from boosters meddling and paying players and doing all that stuff. So Saban gets there, and now you have to shut all that down because he can coach. He doesn't need any of that outside noise. And I'm hoping maybe with Harsin that we've crossed that line. I'm going to give you guys a tidbit here. We did an interview last night where we talked about some of this stuff. We'll be dropping that segment for you guys later this month. But I won't tell you who it is. But we had a former player come on and just talk to us a little bit about things that happened at Auburn, inside and outside the program. I hung around in the athletic department a lot, obviously taping practices and games and doing highlight films. And I'm really hopeful that they're changing the culture and that this game represents the last game we'll see of the old guard. Right. This is just, and I don't want to be dismissive when we make our picks earlier this week, but I'm just I just kind of want to get through this, take whatever positives we can take, and then let the Harsin era begin. That is all we're trying to do. And if we just so happen to win the game, great. I want that for the seniors on this team. Right. I want that for the seniors on this team. They deserve to be able to go out with a win. But going back to BJ Hammer, listen, man, you are always welcome at the War Report. We're going to have more content for you guys here as the show continues to evolve. So I really appreciate that comment.
And BJ, by the way, I will actually take some pleasure in Bama destroying Notre Dame later today.
We're all rooting for Bama.
Yeah, we talked about that.
We're
Go back and watch our Wednesday show.
We destroy Notre Dame. Yeah. I'm actually going to enjoy that. So
it's
running out of the pocket to the right. Oh yeah, that's going to happen. So 5 times is what you're saying. The over under is that going to happen 5
in one drive,
one series? Oh,
Like I said,
what
he's
series?
he's gonna drop back at least 35 times today to pass. He's gonna do it at least 10. Yeah.
I was
At
about to
least
say,
10.
like, he'll do that in one series.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe. I mean, it's going to be, I don't know, or maybe with no Gus and Chad, they've been working with, how many weeks have they had since the last game? 2 weeks at least?
You think
2
he
weeks?
fixed that in 3 weeks what he couldn't fix in 2 years?
Maybe. I don't know. Who knows? Let's
Cam had
see.
a good fax and nah. I don't know if y'all see this further up. Yeah.
After every play.
We talk
Jamie
trash.
Sherwood is
Sherwood is
going
going to be back, so I'm gonna go facts.
If Sherwood is on the field, if Sherwood's on the sideline,
Especially if we're losing, we're going to be talking trash.
We're going to be talking trash.
Our best trash is when we're actually losing.
Jamie and Sherwood is my favorite player, bro, because he gonna talk. He don't care what the scoreboard is. We could be losing by 30, and it's 2 minutes left in the game, and he's gonna tackle somebody and swear he won the game with that. Like he is gonna talk so much junk the whole game.
You know what? Be
Bruh,
it
'cause
when
he
you
don't
up,
care.
and be that same dude when you down. I love that.
Yeah, keep that same energy.
His intensity is the same the whole game, bro. He could get beat on a play. He doesn't care. The next play, he gonna swear he shut. Like I love Jamie and Sherwood, bro. His energy is just crazy the whole game. I love it.
For
You know something? I thought about two things. Number one, somebody said Kalen Newton. I wonder if Kalen Newton would really get a look under the new coach. The new coach seems to prefer.
I think Brian Harson's gonna just let anybody. He's like, look, wipe the slate
clean.
clean. I didn't recruit any of you guys.
Yes.
Let me just see what y'all got.
I hope it's
as he
Cole
should,
and
as he
Demetrius
should.
Davis and maybe even Kalen Newton and maybe even the ghost Garrett. What's his name? The guy who
Shale Garnett, Garrett.
Yeah,
Garnett, I think is it.
Okay, I got one. Facts or nah? Bo Nix enters the transfer portal next season.
Nah, he ain't going.
Nah.
He's an Auburn dude, man.
Well,
the only way that happens is if he gets benched. If he gets benched, I don't think he can.
Because he would look terrible to transfer.
I think that's very likely, guys.
But so I don't think that he can be at Auburn and not be the guy. Like I don't think that he's equipped to deal with that emotion.
Right. I think it's possible. So if he gets benched, then he might enter the transfer portal.
Telling me the dude who cost us at least 2 games in his sophomore season, at least 3 games in his freshman season. Everybody else had to hang while you blew games for us, but you don't get
exactly
a chance to blow our games no more.
That's exactly what I'm telling you. Yes.
Yeah.
He is a legacy product. He is not going to leave.
With all the more reason why he does not want to be a bench writer at Auburn.
He would look terrible.
Because and that leash has gotten extremely short.
Nah. I don't think he would.
Everybody keeps saying Tank is leaving. There's not been any evidence that Tank is leaving. He is not playing today.
He tweeted something that sent people in a panic over him. I don't know if there's any merit to that rumor or anything.
What was it? I didn't hear that.
It was I don't recall, but it was a cryptic Tank. You know how you post something cryptic and people go with the worst case scenario?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And people took it to mean that Tank could be leaving. I don't think he is.
Right.
Oh, that's rough. This is gonna be a reset. Might be saying this is not a reset.
It might be a rebuild after all if he leaves.
Yeah,
well,
I mean,
it depends on who we get in the transfer. Like they're talking about some top running backs might be coming from the transfer portal. So if that happens, then we could I don't know what I don't know. I do know Tank is really good, right? And so it would hurt to lose him, but I don't know what Harsin could put together with the.
Travers responded to something
delaying on pushing the panic button.
Yeah, we'll know soon enough. We will know soon enough. It's only going to take a couple of weeks, really, by signing day, when we have to go ahead and get all our transfer talent in. And if he's going to leave, he would have to be out by that point. We got about 6 weeks for this to shake itself out. Or 4. We got about 4 weeks. We'll know. We'll know exactly what we look like in 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Well, total offense will be 302. That's a very specific number.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. Listen, those are the type of predictions I like, damn it. Put a number on it. Say exactly what's going to happen. I hope that's
say what you chest.
Say what you do.
Tank said, y'all going to be mad about this one. I got to do what I got to do.
Hey, man, that don't sound good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yikes. That's what he said? Wow.
Yeah.
Maybe, I mean,
Yikes.
but maybe it was him not playing in this game. That doesn't mean he's transferring, right? Like, so, like,
Hey, man.
Yeah, it's cryptic. It's still cryptic, guys. Like,
Okay,
yeah,
so can we say that this is why how they bungled this coaching search matters, right? Like, I mean, we've been, you know, I took a lot of offense to the statement that Goose said when he was coming out. He was like, "It's so unfortunate that there was so much misinformation." I was like, "Bro, you could have squashed a lot of it."
right.
You know, if you know, as soon as and maybe this happened, I don't know that it didn't happen, but as soon as Gus got let go, I assume they called a player meeting to inform the team, right, and then start communicating about the future of the program and what they were going to do. It just seems like from a lot of the player reactions that either didn't happen or it happened extremely poorly, because the players seemed somewhat blindsided by the decision. Some of them, I mean, I'm
Yeah.
you know, and I'm putting my own subjective spin on the things that I was reading here, but a lot of them sounded betrayed. You know, they felt like, you know, a member of their family had just been dealt a raw hand, and that's why even if Harsin ended up being the right choice, everybody outside of Green screwed this up. They did.
Well,
Right? Because you created this feeling on the team.
I don't know.
Players
that's
tweeting
where-
cryptic messages. What?
If you're gonna get rid of a guy that number one recruited them and number two that they liked, this was inevitable. This was going to happen if you choose to change coaches. We thought we were risking the recruiting class, but in the current era, with how easy it is for players to move, you were also risking players who were already on the team who liked and preferred Gus, and that's a risk. That
Right.
if we're going to hit that button,
Right.
hey, Gus isn't getting it done, we have to be willing to live with all the consequences of that. That's the recruiting class. That is the current players. You wouldn't think it would apply to the stars as much, because I would figure if you're already signed and you're here, everybody who's a starter, then you at least you're in prime position to get a feature spot still, and
Right.
maybe you're not risking losing so much. So I don't know, but you have to remember the people who recruited these guys, they're leaving too. Cadillac could be gone. That's a
Yeah.
recruited thing.
Travis Williams as well too. Like, I mean,
we're not just losing the system that they signed on to play in. We're not just losing the guy who recruited them and convinced them to stay. We're getting rid of the relationships that they built with this staff. And that's a big deal. And I'm not saying that they shouldn't think about what they want and revisit what their priorities are. I hope they don't, but it's within their rights to do it, and it may be more of a rebuild than we thought.
you know what? That kind of what you just said kind of reinforces the old adage that players commit to coaches and not institutions.
Right.
For the most part.
They commit to coaches, and when your guy isn't there anymore, because these coaches are a lot of things to these guys, man. A lot of them are father figures, they're authority figures, they're role models, you know. And when you fire dad, and he moves the family, you don't stay behind. You either move out of the house or you follow dad.
I think when we start talking about like what coaches are good to maintain, that's why Cadillac and Travis are so important to the recruiting classes that we've had most recently, because all of our really high performing athletes have come from the running back and linebacker position and were recruited mostly by those two guys. Right. So if we lose those two guys, we probably lose the recruits that came because of them.
Yeah.
Right.
Man, that's
just the reality of what may happen.
Right. There's been a lot of talk about Travis and Caddy. I'll be going after this bowl game is over. I'll be interested to see how quickly they make coaching decisions, because I can only assume that Harsin has been working on nothing but finding assistants and recruiting.
Yeah.
Right. The last week or so. I mean, I'm sure he took a break at Christmas, but the day after Christmas, I hope he got right back to work on recruiting and finding assistants. Those are to me your first two jobs here, and recruiting includes convincing your staple players not to jump the ship.
Right.
That's a part of recruiting every year is getting guys to stay. So We'll
Especially with
see.
the way the transfer portal works now. Like you have to make sure that whatever's in your cupboard remains there so that when you lose guys because they decide to enter the draft or they graduate, that
Right,
you still have something to replace them with.
right. So they act like Shula era didn't happen. You know what that is? This is one of the
Most of
truest
them didn't
statements.
start becoming Bama fans until they started winning anyway. So yeah, of course, they don't even know what a Shula era is.
Yeah, sidewalk alumni. That's what we
Yeah.
like to call them.
We're talking about. I hope he has his staff together. I hope Harsin within a week of this game. So next Friday, his staff should be done.
Yo, I love our comment section on the lives, bro. Like I love
Yeah,
it every time.
yeah.
It's
You guys are
always good.
wild at this
Oh,
point. We're gonna
man.
lose. We gonna lose.
If y'all
the
don't
game.
come
on the
hang
fight.
out with us every game day Saturday next year, I'm gonna be so upset, bro. Like every game day Saturday, we have to be here kicking it. Like pregame,
Virtual
halftime, postgame.
tailgate. Virtual
Every
tailgate.
time, bro.
There you
Like
go.
we might figure out how we could do a live tailgate at one of the like maybe homecoming or something like that next year. We'll figure that out. But like y'all gotta come at least virtually kick it with us every game day. This is always fun.
Well, Jeff Grimes. That was one of the names on the rumor mill. But
Really?
that was speculation. That was speculation, but it was one of the names. Yeah.
Jeff Grimes, huh?
Yeah, he is a name that's been thrown out there, and he could come back for sure. I will keep an eye out for Arizona State. I think his name is Zach Hill, Arizona State's offensive coordinator. He actually coached with Harsin as well. I don't know what their numbers look like or anything, but his name, along with Jeff Grimes, has been mentioned.
Right.
Yeah, a lot of people are asking, like, do we know who the coordinator? We have no, like, I don't have no inside information on who the, like, we're waiting just like you. We the same kind of fans y'all are. We don't have any inside information on what's happening. We're waiting to see like y'all are. Which I like who I don't know who the Travis guy is in the comments because you were saying that you were asking Tank questions on his live. Is this what like where was this live happening? Like I don't what's going on with that? I want to get more information about that.
Yeah, it was I think he was talking. I think he tweeted something at him. Is what I thought I read, and he responded.
Tank made a statement like he was going to a nail salon. Like in the comments, they say he was in, and that's close to what I had heard. I forgot it was a nail salon, but again, he posted something cryptic, and without context, people took it and ran with it.
Right. You know, again, when your players are out there tweeting loosely and wildly, right? Like, I mean, that is not a good sign of what's happening with the internal culture on the team, right? Like, it's just not a good sign.
And that's why I say there's no guarantee that we're even going to show up today because there's so much tumult going on internally with the team. Like, I don't know where the guys' morale is. Like, I don't know where their focus has been in practice. Some of these guys, they're not going to play football anymore after this game. They might have just been like, man, whatever, and mail this in. I mean, there's some guys who they're going to be playing here for a couple more years that want to get a shot, but the question then becomes the guys who want to play, do you have the talent to beat the guys on the other side of the field? I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah. Throwaway 2021. I gotta agree with that. Like, it's gonna be a rough year if he decides he's gonna jump ship. I also said he was going to kill it in Harsin's offense, and he replied on his live that the comment said, "Nah, man, I'm not going to be there." Wow. Then he shut down the live and deleted it. Also, Brad Lester posted on Facebook that Auburn RB1 in a transfer portal. Yeah, you know, Brad Lester is actually very connected to a lot of players. You know, he works with a lot of players up in Atlanta to train either in off season, and he works with a lot of high school kids, getting them ready for college. You know, Brad was, you know, he was an okay running back for us, you know, in his time during his time at Auburn. But if it's coming from him, there may be some teeth to that, if that's true, right?
And I think maybe, you know, so stuff happens in emotions and people say stuff and like, so maybe think it was, you know, he was like mad that day. I don't know. So maybe he hadn't had a chance to talk to Brian Harsin yet. I have no, like, all of this is complete speculation based upon, we have to remember these are 18, 19, 20-year-old kids, right? And so they have way too much access to be out here just saying whatever is on their mind at the time. I'm not going to make him beholden to how he felt at that moment when he said that thing. He could change his mind tomorrow because the reality changes tomorrow. So I have no idea.
Or because we need to do what what some of the better teams do and re-recruit their players to stay. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, that's what Mike mentioned that.
Right. So I want to talk about this for a second. Who was his strength and conditioning coach, right? Like he talks about again. I think a lot of people went back to study this game to get an idea of what Harsin's going to try to do here, and as a reward for everybody who woke up this morning to hit it to chat it up with us. I will tell you that we filmed a segment last night with a former player, and we did a deep dive on this, on strength and conditioning. So I'm not going to tell y'all who it is, but when we start releasing our player interview series, I think you guys will really enjoy a lot of the insights from guys who started at Auburn and went on to play at the next level, who came to talk about strength and conditioning. I mentioned it on another one. Strength and conditioning is one of the most important coaches that never gets talked about.
Yeah.
Right. And their conditioning program is going to have to change for what they're going to be asked to do now. So I'll be interested. Harsin mentioned it in his first presser. He talked about conditioning, and he also talked about nutrition. Super important. So I'll leave that there. But I when we were in school, Kevin Yoxel was the man. He was a beast, man. He always had those guys ready to go. The nutrition part of it, was a little different, but like I think that I'll be interested to see, if he brings his guy from Boise State with him. That will tell us a lot, or if he goes out and tries to find somebody else. Strength and conditioning coaches tend to follow their head coaches wherever they go if they're moving up. Because if you already got a guy, why wouldn't you unless he just doesn't want to go where you're going? They follow coaches quite a bit. I think probably more than any other staff member.
Right.
So I'll be interested to see after bowl game how quickly they start solidifying staff for sure.
Yeah. All right. Well, we got about a little over an hour before this game is supposed to get started. So we'll let you guys figure out how you're going to come back and complain with us at halftime about what we saw in the first half. But we will be back at you guys at the half with our reactions to what we saw in the first half. So if you have not already, make sure that you are prepared to click like and subscribe on our YouTube channel so you'll know when we're going live. Hit the notification bell so you can know what's going to be happening there. If you're not following us on social media, we'll probably be tweeting out stuff during the game. So we'll be hitting that live tweet situation going on on Twitter and Instagram. We are the War Report. And we are on TikTok at TW Report. So make sure that you guys are locked in on all the social media platforms. Anybody have any last words before we get out of here and let the fans go and watch Citrus Bowl 2020 Auburn versus Northwestern?
I've got something that's been on my mind for a minute since we brought it up.
Okay.
Rich Rodriguez's wife was living in West Virginia and didn't want to come to Alabama.
Mm-hmm. Hey, so let's not pretend like Alabama has not been in like 49 or 50 ranking in a lot of stuff. Like I get West Virginia ain't
West Virginia is like one spot ahead. It's not any better.
So why downgrade is her point. She's like, I'm not going backwards. If her choices were Michigan or Alabama, which one would you choose?
Wife, anything you need access to, you can still get. You were gonna make more money at Alabama anyway. Anyway, that's been on my mind. That doesn't make any sense to me.
All right. So here we go. What's the record again for Kevin Steele as a head coach? One more time.
9-36.
9-36.
Bearing down 37.
9-36. Let's go, guys. War Eagle.
9-36. I'm sorry.
We want a winner,
not a loser. All right. War Eagle, guys.
Well, I'll let y'all at the half. Peace.